You're listening to the Peasinner Network. For more great podcasts, go to peasinner.com.au.
Peasinner
and Co.
The weave is broken. Those of might and magic are fallen. Factions fly to fill the vacuum of power as the spell plague brings destruction across the Forgotten Realms. Two heroes meet in the abandoned ruins of the Sword Coast town of Leylon. Women skilled in sword and sorcery, upon whose shoulders rests the fate of the entire Forgotten Realm.
Wait. Is he talking about us?
I sure hope not, because that sounds like a lot of responsibility.
Oh, gods.
Hi, and welcome to Best Left Forgotten, the deliberately unofficial and uncanon D&D podcast. My name is Nathan Quadria, and I'm your Dungeon Master.
My name is Miriam Feats, and I play Clarabelle, the Dwarven Barbarian.
My name is Jess Wolfendale, and I play Flick Goldkind, the Gnome Druid.
In case you've forgotten, Flick and Clarabelle headed up the Sword Mountains in search of Tharden Rockseeker, and instead found themselves in the middle of a conflict between a goblin horde and the undead forces of the strange and mysterious necromancer, Hamoon. They quickly discovered Tharden had been staying with Hamoon while completing some research for Gundren, and they agreed to try and stop the goblin raids on Hamoon's settlement so that Tharden could complete his task. They forged on up the mountain, spotted a castle in the distance, and found a goblin camp where they were overrun and knocked unconscious, presumed dead. Let's jump right in. After a period of time, you're unsure how long, you awaken, and you are being carried on the shoulders, bound and gagged, of goblins. During this time, you have been able to take a short rest, and you are being carried up a hill.
Well, at least we don't have to walk up hills. I hate that.
You can hear some murmuring around you. They're speaking in Goblin. You can see, but you can't speak, and you can see a castle that you are approaching, a keep of some kind. The walls are intact, but slowly kind of breaking apart, as if somebody hasn't lived here in some time, and so that it has not been upkept very well. You're carried through the gates of this castle, of this keep, and you enter a wonderful courtyard. Very, very green, but more naturally overgrown kind of green than these beautiful manicular lawns. And you can see that there is a building on the opposite side of this courtyard whose roof has been completely smashed in by some kind of giant circular object. And they take you directly into that room. And you hear them say, in common, "A sacrifice for the queen! For the queen! A sacrifice!" And then there's this weird kind of chanting experience that you have. And they take you to the edge of a hole. Clearly whatever has come through the roof has smashed through the roof and smashed into the ground to create kind of a pit in the middle of this room. It's unclear what this room used to be because everything has been destroyed by whatever object came in. From the bottom of the pit, you can hear... And they throw you in. And you land on the bottom of this pit.
Are we still bound and gagged?
You are still bound and gagged. What would you like to do?
I would like to try and break out of my bindings.
Certainly. Roll a strength check.
I'm just going to look around while that's happening to see what we're dealing with here.
Can you roll a perception check?
17.
Fabulous. Yes. You stretch your huge muscles and you break free of the weak goblin rope that is around your arms. You are still gagged, though, for the time.
Okay.
You remove your
my gag down, yes.
Fabulous.
25.
25 on perception. Fantastic. Luckily, it's not too dark in this pit. It's only a few feet deep. Too small for short people such as yourselves to climb out of, and goblins probably assumed the same. But if you were 6 feet tall, you could probably make your way out. You see on the ground next to you is this kind of humanoid-shaped creature that with this kind of harsh elephantine skin, almost bear-like in the way that it kind of sits on the floor. Its back is turned to you and you can't yet see its face. It appears to be asleep.
I will reach over and undo all of Flick's bindings and her gag as well.
Okay. Flicking Clarabelle, you are unbound in the bottom of a pit.
All right, I put my hand to my lips in a shush motion, and we agree on that.
Yeah. I'm assuming I have none of my weapons.
You do have whatever small weapons you would have upon you, if there were daggers or anything like
Does a
that.
hand axe count as a
I would
small
say a
weapon?
hand axe is yes.
Okay, I have a hand axe.
Cool.
But all large weapons have been taken.
Yeah.
All right, so the only way we can see out of the pit is climbing
Correct.
at this stage.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
As you look around, the heads of goblins peek over the top, and you see them go, they're shocked that you're awake and alive. And you hear them go, and they move back and they start to whisper amongst themselves.
We shrug at each other.
Yeah, just no idea what to do.
Do we try to like boost each other out or?
The creature begins to stir next to you with the noise of the goblins.
Battle positions.
I think I might actually take a stance ready to grapple.
Sure.
If it wakes up, I'm just going to lunge and try and grapple it.
Beautiful. It rolls over, its eyes still closed, and what you see is this pig-like face with a snout and drooling mouth and these two beady little eyes, which are closed. And then you hear of all these feet approaching, ringing around the circle. Kill, 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 as like maybe 15 to 20 goblin voices start to chant for your death. Kill, kill, kill. And the creature awakens
I
and
lunge.
spies you.
I turn into a giant lizard.
Okay, we're going to roll grapple, then we're going to roll initiative.
Oh, come on, baby.
Oh no.
That's 9.
10. You leap to grapple, but this creature, suddenly aware, rolls out of the way and kind of bashes you off
Yeah.
as your friend turns into a giant lizard next to you. Can everybody roll initiative?
Great.
Clarabelle?
8.
Flick.
6.
No.
Clarabelle, you're up first.
What? Mm-hmm. Okay.
This creature is on the ground, staring at you.
I pull my hand axe out. I'm so sorry about this, but it really seems like my only option, and I lunge.
Beautiful. Roll to hit.
Does a 14 hit?
A 14 does hit.
Yay! That's 4 points of damage.
Lovely. 4 points of damage as you slash at it with its hand axe. It did manage to knock you away, but was still kind of like groggy and asleep. And all of a sudden, as you stab it, it awakens.
Yeah.
And the same would happen to us, I imagine.
Funnily enough.
Funnily enough. Flick, you're next.
Wow, okay.
It rolled quite poorly.
Yeah, so did we. I'm a big lizard now.
You are a big lizard. What would your lizard want to do?
My lizard would probably want to charge up and attempt to essentially knock it to the ground, I think. I think
Okay.
I want to get this thing down.
Okay. The shove action.
Sure.
Oh.
What do you add to that? Just strength?
We'll call it an athletics check, yeah.
I don't know if my lizard's proficient in athletics, but I'm just going to add 2, which makes it a 19.
A 19. Unfortunately, the creature rolled a natural 20. So you go and smash into it. As it stares down at you. A small creature that is now a lizard.
A giant lizard.
A giant lizard, which it did catch slightly very briefly. So what it's going to do is, in its kind of hazed state, is it's going to try and attack the giant lizard and kind of just thrash out at you. And completely miss.
Thank God.
Swings its arms. Nothing. Clarabelle, you're back up.
Okay, I'm just going to take another swing.
Lovely.
And with a nat 1, I imagine I miss.
You do miss. You stumble past as it kind of is thrashing about. Flick.
I'm going to attempt to bite its throat.
Okay, bite away.
17.
17 does hit.
Excellent. 5 piercing damage.
So you go snap straight down onto its belly for 5 piercing damage.
Grr. Or whatever sound a lizard makes.
Beautiful. Okay. Having now received damage from both of you, the lizard is much more intimidating. It's going to turn to you and spit into your face.
Seems rude.
And it's going to go and slam into your back and has no effect.
Oh dear.
Nice.
Clarabelle, it's your turn.
Oh, I'm going to try and grapple it again, actually.
Grapple away.
That's 13.
15. So it's always close, but no. So you go again, but it manages, although it's a hulking figure, it's still pretty live.
Look, if I could roll over a 10 on my dice, that would be really, really nice for me.
Absolutely. Flick.
The biting seemed to work real well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to attempt that again.
Bite away.
Ooh. 19.
19 definitely hits.
9 damage.
9 damage.
9.
Nice.
It appears very perturbed by that bite, and you can notice that there's kind of like this start of blood dripping down its stomach, and it's kind of stumbling around a little bit. And the lizard, being clearly the threat now, like the whole body language is turned away from Clarabelle.
Yeah.
You are not part of this fight anymore.
Yeah.
It is going to attempt to leap and body slam down upon you.
A wrestling ring.
Oh,
This is the one that's going to hit.
17 to hit?
Absolutely.
Okay, beautiful. Wapa! You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage, and it is now prone as it kind of rolls off next to you.
Ooh.
Wait, it is prone?
It is prone because it's like literally belly flopped straight down onto you.
Incredible.
Clarabelle, here you go.
Well, I'm going to run up with my hand axe and make a melee attack, which means
With
I have
advantage?
advantage. And I crit!
Beautiful.
Yes!
It is on the ground and having critted.
Oh, come on,
It's
baby.
landed onto its belly like
Come on, baby.
some blood has splattered around.
For 5 points of damage.
Oof.
Okay, so you slash at its back, but it is still going. Flick, can you finish up?
Absolutely, I can.
Well, let's give it a go. It lies flat on the ground.
Bam.
Damaged on front, damaged on back.
Yes. That
It
is
have
a...
advantage as well.
You do have advantage because it is prone.
It's all right. First one was a 21.
21 definitely hits.
9 points of piercing damage.
And with that,
I rock as a giant lizard.
You do.
I'm just going to stay like this.
with the damage to the front and the damage of slashing to the back, the final bite just cuts it in half.
Clarabelle turns to Flick and says,
I don't know if it's the scales or the talons or like the really long nose, but this look is working for you.
I do a little shoulder wiggle. I'm very delighted by this. I sort of look up at the goblins and then look back at you.
You hear the goblins. All their hands flying. Stuff gets thrown at you. Bits of like rubble and detritus and, a sword clangs down next to you.
I pick it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful. You pick up a little goblin short sword. And they all kind of like rush and scuttle away and just left all alone in this pit for a moment.
You said kill, we killed. What's going on?
I sort of nudge you a bit, like maybe like a get on my back kind of thing.
Sure, I'll climb on your back.
Excellent. I have a climbing speed. I get up us out of here.
Yes!
On this sheet, I literally, because it's like review characters, Flick, Druid. Like I've written that right here. I knew that. Anyway.
To be fair, this is the first time I've wild shaped for more than about 15 seconds.
It's
so
true. You climb up and out, and immediately all of the goblins, as from the door enters a goblin riding kind of this large rat that to you guys looks rabid. This goblin is wearing this kind of like tall totem mask to make themselves more intimidating. And all of the goblins kind of shuffle back. The queen.
I'm sitting on the back of my friend the lizard, dual wielding my hand axe and this little goblin sword.
Mm-hmm.
I believe we're the sacrifice.
I believe we're the sacrifice. That is spicy. The rat is spurred forwards by the goblin and begins to walk towards you. Do you allow it to approach?
I sort of dig my feet in, like in sort of a defensive stance,
Yeah,
but I allow.
I think we're defensive, but we're seeing where this goes.
Okay. It stops pretty much directly in front of you. This rat is nose to nose with you as a lizard. Flick. Drooling, rotting, you're noticing as it's getting closer. Really, really uncomfortable. You just see these two little eyes, Clarabelle, staring straight at you through the mask. It lifts its hands and removes the mask. Hey, it's you guys!
Oh my goodness.
And you immediately recognize this as Icky. Who is the goblin
Podcast favorite.
Yes.
who you know from your very first session.
Oh my gosh, what a small world. I cannot believe we have run into you.
What are you doing here?
Like I said, I think we're your sacrifice.
What? She kind of stares down. She stares down all the other goblins.
You didn't see it, but Nathan did just the most sassy hand on hip, full. Oh,
It was beautiful.
Looking down. Sacrifice? All sacrifices should be cleared to the queen. And all the goblins kind of like shuffle around. You notice kind of in the corner, some goblins are a little bit upset by this imbalanced potential power. But she's riding the big rat. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
So what are you guys doing here?
So this is a little awkward. We love what you've done with the place. Your look with the rat and the mask. I mean, you just exude power and energy.
I try.
I'm nodding along enthusiastically.
But we do have to request that you stop all the raiding just for a little bit. We got a friend who needs to do some research, but then once they're done, we can take them home and you can raid all you want.
She looks at you and her eyes kind of like start to squint and slant, as if you're no longer quite the ally she thought you were. So you're working for the people down at the well.
We're working for a very incredible lady who rides an elk that I believe you may have run in with before.
Yes, we know the elk lady. And the goblins around nod as well. She came to help us.
Yeah, well, we're working for her, and she just needs this little bit of research done by the people at the well. But then once they're done, it's free reign for raiding.
Look around. What do you see?
What do I see?
Can you roll an insight
This
roll?
can only go
Insight
well. 6.
check. You see all of these goblins. Do we look happy to you?
Sorry, I'm
Nico's
shaking
just
my head as the
shaking her
lizard.
head.
I'm gonna go with no.
Look, leaving Clark was the best thing that ever happened to us. And we like these new digs. But there's no food here. And no water. Look at us. We're all so thirsty. And immediately all the goblins start to turn into this kind of theatrical pantomime of like grasping at their throats.
I am gonna say that with the 6 insight check, Clarabelle is falling for this hook, line, and
Absolutely.
sinker. She is like misting up, tears in her eyes.
We can't wait for them to finish.
No, you can't.
We need access to the well as soon as possible.
Of course
so
you
we
do.
can feed our people.
It is vital that this happens immediately.
We go down there just to get water and food for our people, and we are attacked
You're just trying to survive.
by these undead abominations. Perhaps you can go and talk to your friends, and with the 3-fingered claws kind of does air quotes, and allow us life.
I just want to say that I'm so sorry. I was speaking from a place of misunderstanding. I didn't know what it meant for you to be living here and to be turned away from something as vital as water from a well.
I'm just looking up over my shoulder as much as possible, like, what are you doing?
I will go down to that well and I will make sure that you and your people can drink water and eat food and be happy. Damn it.
Well, then sort it out. And she puts the mask back on and turns around on her rat and exits.
I turn to flick the lizard. I know it's only been about a minute, but I have found my new purpose. And we have to help these goblin folk. We just have to.
I nuzzle you in solidarity, and I sort of gesture like, should we? Yeah.
I think as we go, though, I'm like doing that thing that like politicians do when they go to like really
Oh, no.
like small places and just sort of like going up to a couple of goblins and just like putting my hand on their head and just like, oh, you poor dear, I'm going to make things better.
You hear them say a word in Goblin. Now, you speak Dwarvish, correct?
Yes?
Beautiful. So the Goblin and Dwarvish languages are quite similar in the same script.
Yeah.
You don't know the word, but it kind of sounds like the word in your language of savior or messiah.
I don't know why you have chosen me, but I will not let you down.
And I turn to Flick and we leave.
Okay, you begin to head down the mountain and you head down to the well and the tower. As you approach, several undead zombies begin to head towards you. And they begin to shamble towards you to attack.
I just sort of suggest we like just go to take a wide berth and avoid them because if you get on my back, we're faster than them, I reckon.
And as we're sort of doing that, Tharden, can you get your friend to call off the zombies? It's just us.
You hear no response. And then Hamun, in his red robes, comes rushing out. Oh, friends, hello. Charlene, Christine, Colleen, Dean, Kathleen, please. Eileen, don't you get that look on your eye? Those people are our friends. Please.
I'm slowly filling in the puzzle.
They turn around, but one remains. Maxine, you animal. It's the doghouse for you tonight. And Maxine slowly turns and shambles back to the house. A single tear rolls down Maxine's cheek. Undead, rotting cheek. And you arrive back at the well. Hamun and Tharden are there waiting for you.
I may turn back into Flick.
Good call.
You may?
I may. I reckon I do. I let them see I'm a lizard, and then I turn back into Flick.
Okay. Tharden steps forward. Back so soon. Thank goodness that you've sorted out that goblin scum.
How dare you?
Okay, calm down. It's okay.
I will not.
I'm sorry.
Calm down. I have been made aware of an atrocity that has been going on underneath my nose. These goblins are not scum. They are creatures like us. They deserve respect and they deserve to live in happiness. And you and your friend here have been guarding this well for too long and keeping them away from water and food. And I will not back down until they have their rights.
Tharden would turn to you, Flick. So it seems like she was struck by madness up there.
Yeah, I was a lizard most of the time, but mostly what I can remember is we went up there, we died briefly, and then we met their leader, who we know personally from previous adventures. And then I wasn't doing a lot of talking because, again, I was a lizard, but Claribel seemed to strike some sort of deal with them so that, you know, we didn't have to die again and we could sort of do a not fight version of this.
Hamun steps forward. You were dead. Hello.
No. Mm-mm.
Not anymore?
My name doesn't rhyme. Doesn't work for you.
Seems rather perturbed and steps back.
Yeah.
Fleen. I see. So you're saying that the goblins want to come to this well?
We've struck an accord, essentially, where they have let us know that the reason, supposedly, that they are doing the raids is to access water from the well.
He stares at you for a while. I'm only a guest here. This is Hamun's home. He can sort this out. And he turns around and walks back into the tower.
Cool. I mean, yeah, we only need to sort this out long enough for you to finish the research. Yep. Good. Okay. Hamun, what's up?
Well, this is my water, isn't it? They can't really get their hands on my water. I was here first. It's clearly my tower.
And how did the water get there in the first place? Did you put it there?
Well, what am I supposed to get out of it? Dirty goblins running all over my home? My word. How absurd.
You have zombies. Literal zombies with ooze and pus just walking around here. What difference is a goblin?
Excuse me?
Okay.
My beautiful daughters and sons
Yeah.
bathe daily. That pus is fresh, clean pus. Thank you. I am not some common street necromancer.
Well,
I am a red wizard of Thay, the greatest necromancers in the world. How dare you, you goblin lady?
if the goblins had the same access to water that your sons and daughters did, would they not also be able to bathe?
But would they? Would they?
How will you know if you never give them the chance?
I will allow them to come here on one condition.
And what's that?
That they hand over one of the relics from the keep that they are currently residing in.
Such as?
Just a sword. A long sword, perhaps.
Okay, and what do you plan to do with this long sword? And
How dare you? You come into my home. I greet you. I allow you to enter my tower. I allow you to meet my children. And then you question me?
Yeah.
And then you say, oh, we're just going to take your water for some goblin people.
Yeah. Pretty much. That sums it up pretty well.
Can you describe this sword? Their swords all look similar. Is there a distinctive feature?
Well, it should be very well guarded. I believe it will be probably underground in some kind of vault. It's beautiful. It's got a red gem at the end. There's some scrawlings on the handle, and you've seen the kind of random scrawlings on his arms. They'll look something like this.
Am I getting an evil vibe off of this guy?
I mean, he's used the word necromancer. He's got undead people.
More so, do we think that if he has access to this sword, he will cause us harm in some way?
Roll an insight check,
Okay. Natural 20.
which becomes a
26.
okay.
Girl!
So you beat his 25.
Yes!
So you do determine, as far as you're concerned, he doesn't seem to be threatening to you at all.
Okay.
This man, if we were to talk alignment, clearly evil. Mm-hmm. Clearly evil.
Yeah.
But not to you.
All right. Well, do you think we could perhaps take some water with us as a sign of good faith? And then we can get the sword at the same time?
Can one or both of you roll a perception check, please?
Perception.
Persuasion. I apologize.
persuasion.
My mistake.
18?
I mean, I'll roll as well, but I don't think I'm going to get higher than that. Literally exactly the same. 18.
Very well. And Hamun turns and goes into the tower.
Hey, do you think we have to do this today?
Like, I'm still real sore from almost dying earlier. Do you reckon we can, take a nap?
I just can't bear to think of those goblins lying up there in the dark
Okay.
and the cold, all alone.
Oh, yeah. I was going to ask, now that I'm not a lizard, what do you think happened to Sticky?
I don't know.
We didn't see Sticky, right? You didn't see him?
I don't think so.
No. A mystery. We shall go today.
And I guess we...
Yeah.
Okay.
I have one spell left. It's fine.
I have no rage.
Excellent.
This could be the worst idea of all time.
Hey, we've already died once. It's fine.
Yeah.
There's a necromancer here, you know?
And you travel up the hill toward the keep. Are you heading straight to the keep, or are you going to stop to talk to the people at the camp?
I want to stop for the people at the camp and give them some of the water.
Okay.
Not all of the water, but just
Mm-hmm.
you know.
No problem.
As you hand it out, there's a frenzy around you. The kind of people rush out, and there's way more goblins at this camp than you thought there was, especially considering how many killed you. Women, children, as you like pour out of the water skin a little bit of water into kind of like a little bowl that they've clearly found, the woman who's holding the bowl faints upon somebody else like you're some kind of rock star.
My goodness.
I've done all I could for right now. I promise you, we will make sure that you have water for the rest of your days.
And we continue up to the keep.
You head to the Holy Hall where you meet with Icky again. You have returned
I present the water.
with water. And
This is just the beginning.
Icky grabs the water and pours it over her head. And it seems to have kind of like taken her into this frenzy state.
Can I see Sticky anywhere?
Roll a
What's wrong?
It's so funny. Roll a perception check.
21.
You look amongst all the goblin faces. You're not really familiar with goblin, facial structure, and there is quite a lot of similarity between them. But you don't believe you see Sticky. The real mystery here. Forget the world-ending spell plague stuff.
Oh, man.
Where is Sticky?
I'm half convinced Sticky's the rat at this point, so like...
Clarabelle takes a step back.
So, are we ready to head to the well? Bear arms, boys! And all of them rush off and begin to go collect their things.
Oh my god, they got bear arms?
I mean, that's pretty cool. We'll come back to that. We have run into the troubling nature that is greed. The person who owns the well has a condition for its use. Apparently, there is a long sword with a red gem that y'all have here somewhere. And if we can give it to him, you can use the well as much as you please.
Well, we have no swords here. And all of a sudden, all the goblins come back with all their little tiny blades.
Well, do you mind if we just have a look around? Because like I said, you can't use the well if we don't find the sword. So we can find a sword. We can get the sword. I told you I would take care of this. And that's what I'm going to do.
Very well. Pause arms, boys. And they lower their swords.
Oh, the paws of the bear arms?
You have free reign of my castle.
Thank you.
I promise you I will not rest until this is resolved.
She bows. And the mask she is wearing falls off her face. I apologize. She puts it back on and turns.
I guess.
Flick, you look very suspicious.
It's a Sticky mystery man. Everyone's a suspect.
Let's go.
Yeah, we're going to, Clarabelle would just,
Yeah,
we
let's
got
look
told
for a vault.
underground vault. So that's immediately what I'm trying to clock, like
We look-
stairs
we look for
or a
down.
trapdoor or something down.
Beautiful. Roll investigation for me, please. You may both do so.
13. Oh, we're so bad at it.
2 minus 1.
So what?
That's a dirty one, baby.
Okay. Flick. Just as you're about to head out, you see the pit that you were in. And you're like, oh, underground. There's something there, I think. So you kind of look over and you spend the next kind of hour or so looking down into this pit. You do notice some interesting things about this pit that you didn't notice when you left before.
Yeah, me being the rock expert out of the two of us.
Yeah. No. Can you roll an intelligence check for me?
6 minus 1, so 5.
You do notice that it doesn't look like the rest of the rock here. And there are these kind of little kind of potholes or pockets that kind of have it like this sparkly red dust in them. As Clarabelle, you wander the grounds. The upkeep on the inside is not as good as the upkeep on the outside, so it seems like it's quite safe. You do find a building that is quite well maintained, and that is the chapel.
Yep.
For whatever reason, the goblins haven't settled here. This is a chapel to the goddess Selune, who you may or may not recognize is the goddess of your friend Flick. So this is the goddess of moon and stars or something of the like.
Flick!
I feel like I'm quite far away. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
you're in a separate room, like a separate
Yeah.
building almost. And I think Flick is pretty focused.
Yeah.
And there is a small door to the side. It's not locked, but it's kind of been barred shut.
Yeah.
You have a little bit of strength, you push it through, and you find that it goes downstairs. It probably leads to a crypt of some kind.
Yeah, beautiful. I think I head back to grab Flick before I investigate any further.
Flick, you know, are you willing to remove yourself from this? There's pretty important information here.
I'm going to divulge what I've learned, which is
There's some red sparkly stuff down there.
Can you roll what is a stone cutting?
Gives me, I think, advantage on
Roll
to do
advantage on
with-
history checks with rocks.
Yeah.
Or investigation, or whatever.
13.
13. You can't really work it out kind of contextually, but you recognize immediately this is like lava.
Oh, okay.
Like this was at once molten
Yeah.
lava. It has dried and it is
Yeah.
not anymore. Which, yes, you're at the top of a mountain, but you know that these sword mountains are not volcanic.
Yeah.
You can take
Yeah.
that whatever you
Yeah.
want.
I think it has something to do with Sticky.
Look, I'm not ready to jump to any conclusions regarding that mystery,
I'm
but
jumping.
I'm glad you're on it. Look, I agree. This is very strange, and I'm definitely going to log this away in the mental filing cabinet. But I think there's something a little bit more important. I think I know where the sword is.
Are you sure?
Well, I found a chapel to Saloon.
Oh, I know that guy.
I would hope so. I think
Saloon
you
is a
said it.
lady.
I'm well aware.
I think you said she was your god.
Yeah.
Well, there's a chapel to her, and there's some stairs that I think go to like a crypt. And crypt and vault are pretty similar.
But you agree that we'll come back to this.
Definitely, there should not be lava residue on this hill.
All right. I trust you. Let's go.
All right. And we head to the chapel.
You head there and you begin to head down into the crypt. It is as crypt-like as one would expect. Dark, stinky, kind of musty smell. There are a number of small offshoots which lead into these little alcoves that have coffins in them.
Yep.
You walk down to the end and there is a wall that has kind of an interesting pattern that is quite difficult to see and to read.
I look at it real close.
Beautiful. Can you roll an investigation?
Can I assist her with that?
Absolutely.
Oh, which is a -1. So 15.
15. Okay. You both get a little bit of knowledge separately. Flick, there is writing in Celestial here.
Oh. I speak that.
You do speak Celestial.
Oh.
What it says is along the lines of the dead watch the items that were taken. They have been left beyond to protect from the evil. Clarabelle,
Yes.
with your stone cutting, you notice that this is quite a beautiful piece of stone, very specifically carved. And it was not clearly like, the rest of the crypt would have been dug out of the ground.
Yeah.
This was like specifically delivered and placed in. In the moonlight, it would probably shimmer. Why it was placed underground in a crypt, you can't really work out. But there's something to it. You also notice they're not really clear because of the way that it's kind of broken down, but there are little rings, a circle and a further circle and a further circle with little kind of grooves to define those rings.
Interesting. It says something about the dead and the items here. So I think, I don't know, it gives me vibes.
All right. Well, the stonework is incredible. This kind of stonework could glimmer in moonlight, but we're underground, so it feels like wasted potential.
I look up and see if there's any really big skylight.
Or like that mirror trick that people can do.
You notice that there is a very tiny hole in the roof through which some light could come through.
Is it nighttime?
It is not quite nighttime, no. It's late afternoon, though.
Maybe we post up until
Yeah.
the
Maybe we can
moonlight comes
investigate the lava, and then when moonlight comes, I nod sagely.
through. We can do that.
Absolutely.
If that's what you want to do, we can do that.
I'll check out the chapel, though.
I mean, it
chapel
is
bit of
your
the chapel.
God.
Yeah.
I feel like
I can pay her a visit.
I'm not religious, so I don't.
Yeah, no. It's good.
All right.
Beautiful. So can you roll an investigation check with advantage to look at the lava rocks? And you make a religion check.
Oh, no.
You can add your proficiency.
Okay.
That is only a 12.
Okay.
12.
Okay. Clarabelle, you look. What you do notice is that there's kind of like the shape, and from the context, what the something had fallen and smashed through the roof and created this hole, and it was a sphere, like a giant spherical rock that has landed. So what we would understand is something like a meteorite.
Yep.
And that's what you notice. There's a bit of doming to what's underneath there. So whatever lava object it is what caused the damage.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's obviously been here for a little while because nothing's happened. Like it's dormant, but there is a little bit of that red sparkle that is normally gone.
Okay.
So there might be something spicy magic to it.
Yeah. My question was, is there a way to know whether this has magical origins rather
Roll an Arcana check.
than... That's a 6.
Okay. No.
I don't know about them magics.
Yeah, you're not an expert on dim magics. Flick.
Yep.
You spend a bit of time with Saloon, and you close your eyes, and your mind is flooded with visions of the stars and the moon. You feel very similar as when you go into your starry form. And you see in front of you a series of circles, small, larger, and you want to reach out and touch the center circle.
I absolutely do.
You reach out and touch the center circle, and you open your eyes, and you're back in the church.
Huh. Weren't there circles in the vault thingy?
Thank God.
No, I head down there
Beautiful.
in a fugue state.
You head down into the crypt, and you head down to the end of all of these circles, and you reach out, as you say, in almost a fugue state, and you touch the middle and push. And it slowly opens up in front of you, and there's now a passageway forward. You don't know much about stone, but the rest of the path does appear to be made of this glowing stone as well.
Yeah,
I look back. Is Clarabelle back yet?
No?
Yeah, no, I'm going to go back out and get Clarabelle.
Lovely.
hey, I did it.
Oh my goodness, you did?
Uh-huh.
You're so incredible.
You're
Every day
incredible.
you amaze me.
You get over here. Come on.
We go down.
There are markings all over the walls in Celestial. You can read them. They are kind of words of protection about guarding and shielding. You know a little bit about magic. You're not an arcane caster. I mean, technically you are.
Yeah.
But there is kind of a magical aura, but it's old. So it's kind of like it's not fully working. You continue to walk down and you reach the end where there is a fork, one going right, one going left.
Say it at the same time. See if we're both thinking the same thing.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, left.
That might be the best D&D moment I've ever experienced.
I just knew it.
Yeah.
We're 100% on the
just
same
so in
wavelength.
sync.
Yep.
You head to the left and you follow the path. It begins to get very, very dark. But as you walk, wherever Flick is, the writing on the wall begins to glow with kind of this soft moonlight-esque experience.
You are so magical.
What? Oh. Huh. Maybe it's because of, like, my goddess or whatever? I know Celestial, so maybe they really like being red.
You walk and you arrive at a door. It's a large silver handle.
Can you, like, knock it?
No, it does not knock that way. It's quite thick and heavy, but it's enough to kind of push.
Okay.
And we could probably knock on it.
Bit of like,
Oh, sure, yeah, absolutely.
Well, it was more like if it was a
Yeah,
knocker,
yeah,
I
yeah.
would knock. But if it's just a handle, then I'll just try and open the door.
Okay. Clarabelle, with your large muscles, you push open the door. There's some crackling of arcane magic around the outside that seems to have no effect. You're not sure why. Perhaps it's the age of the room. Perhaps it's creating or activating something that you can't see. But there is kind of like an old little around the outside as you open the door.
Are we okay?
I mean, I think we're okay. Unless something went into our minds and like in a couple of days' time we go insane. But there's no way to know.
We've
if
got
that
the orb for
happens.
that. We don't need
All right.
more. Maybe they'll counteract each other.
I say
Good
we
plan.
I say we just keep going forward.
You go forwards and you enter this kind of circular room. You immediately notice on the floor there are patterns of kind of the phases of the moon, and these are maps that followers of Selene would be using to signify different phases of the moon and movements of stars and things like that. It just looks very pretty to you, Clarabelle. And in the middle is a pedestal upon which sits, in a beam of light, a sword with a red stone at the end and a wrapped hilt.
Is it sideways sword or is it Excalibur sword?
Sideways sword.
Okay, great.
Museum.
The two directions, sideways and Excalibur. Yep.
All right. I go up to the sword.
Hey. Should we maybe check for bad magic, bad vibes?
I mean, the stone is beautiful. The words were glowing. And now there's miraculous light showing us the sword lying on the stone. I feel like it's all a sign that we should take the sword.
I think it's a sign of the opposite, that it was made to keep the sword here. Maybe. I don't like to argue with you, and I'm sorry I got so heated just then. But I really feel strongly that maybe we should look a little bit more before we leap this time.
You are the smartest person I know.
You're the smartest person I know.
So I think if this is something that you think we should wait and see, then that's what we'll do.
All right. Give me a minute.
All right. I'm going to do two things. Mm-hmm. First one of which, I'm going to look around for bad magic vibe and anything that's maybe going to murder us if we try to take this sword.
Roll an Arcana check.
8.
There's a lot of magic going on in this room. The light, is magic. The symbols on the ground are magic. There's some stuff going on around the pedestal.
Is there the scrawlings on the sword that we saw on the dude's arm?
Correct.
So, good.
What's the second thing you want to do?
Okay. Now, can I clarify?
Please.
Floor. You said it was phases of the moon and star patterns. Is there actually star patterns?
Yeah.
I pull out my star map thing, and I'm going to attempt to compare them.
Nice.
Because star patterns do change over time, and it might give me an idea of how old this room is.
Do you have proficiency in nature?
No.
Oh, no.
Okay.
As a druid.
Do you have proficiency in survival?
No, but I've got a good plus to it.
Can you make a survival check then with advantage?
13.
They definitely don't align. You would say that it'd probably be a couple of 100 years, but you don't really know enough about the movement of stars over that period of time to be able to say exactly how long it would be.
That's fine.
It's been a while. It's
I
been a few
tried.
centuries. You did. You gave it a go.
I gave it a good old country try.
Can I grab the sword now?
All right. So there's a lot of stuff in this room that suggests to me it might be bad if we get the sword. But it's also been a long time, and we saw the arcane energy at the door sort of fizzle. The only thing that I can see that is still working is the dramatic spotlight. So maybe we might be okay.
I made a promise to Icky and those goblins that I would sort this out for them.
I know.
And if that means that this sword kills me, then this sword kills me. And I reach out and I pick it up.
Oh my God.
You approach the sword.
I flinch.
Before you get a chance to approach the sword, as you walk towards it, the whole pedestal moves back about 15 feet. And something begins to rise out of the ground in front of you.
We didn't rest.
Let's get ready to rumble.
And there is this creature made out of stone.
Oh no.
That has 2 enormous tower shields that it's holding. And you see these 2 red eyes coming out of a domed head behind these shields. Can you roll initiative? Clarabelle?
11.
Flick?
5.
Clarabelle, once again, you are going first.
Gosh. Do I have my maul back?
You do have all your items back.
Good. Okay, then I guess I just swing.
Swing to hit.
14.
14 does not hit.
Yeah, didn't think it would.
Just straight off
Yep.
this shield.
I think I'd like to be standing between it and Flip as
Not a
much
problem.
as I can.
It is now the shield guy's turn. it goes to kind of like, because at the moment it's kind of like hunkered down behind its shields. It goes to like move itself out. And you realize it's kind of having trouble making this happen.
Yeah.
And it kind of crumples down on one knee behind the shield. And that's its turn. Flick.
Okay. Can I make some kind of perception or investigation check to see if there are any markings on this golem's body that would maybe suggest an off switch?
Roll an investigation check.
15.
Okay. Has Flick seen golems like this before?
I would see no reason why she would have.
There you go. So you see a number of markings clearly been created in the same style and stone as the rest of the room, but you don't see anything that indicates what's going on. You do notice, however, that there's kind of a weakness to the glow on these markings.
Like it's not operating at full power.
Correct. Clarabelle.
I think I just have to keep swinging with my maul
Roll to maul.
and miss completely
Not a problem.
with a 7.
It is going to approach you,
Yeah.
kind of crumpling in on itself. It's going to try and stand up to full height, and you see kind of this surge of light, and then this fizzle of power kind of dissipate from its body above, turning into kind of like a loose blue flame.
Oh.
Okay.
And then it is going to lean forwards and attempt to shove attack you.
Okay.
Which is going to be a 21 to hit,
Yes,
which I
that
imagine will
hits.
hit.
Yeah.
So you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage
Okay.
and are pushed back 5 feet.
Okay.
Flick me. Do you think getting the sword right now would be a bad or a good thing? Like maybe it'll stop it.
We can only try.
Okay. I run over towards the sword.
Okay, the creature is going to use its reaction, and it leaps, slams in front of you. It's going to miss you, and completely bars your way.
Bad thing. Bad thing.
But you still have an action if you wanted to attack it now that it's in front of you.
I use my bonus action to cast Shillelagh. There we go. And I use my quarterstaff to jab it.
Okay, roll to jab.
12.
Unfortunately, a 12 will miss.
Yeah.
Power Shakira has let me down.
Clarabelle, it's your turn.
Well, it just used its reaction.
Yes, it did.
So I'm going to run for the sword.
Okay, you run for the sword, and you lay your hand upon the sword.
Yep.
You feel a surge of dread and sadness throughout your body. But you have the sword in your hand.
Okay.
The creature, its head turns 180 degrees to stare straight at you.
Okay. Yeah. How much movement did it take me to get to the sword?
15 feet of movement.
Okay. Can I get within the creature's threatened area in 10 feet of movement?
Yes?
So I could run and attack the creature with the sword this turn?
Yes? That is not what I expected to happen. Sorry, I'm just very shocked by that. You absolutely could. You're in like a very small space. Yes.
Then that's what I'm going to
Oh
do.
my god! Roll to hit. Is a +1 weapon.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's like a 24.
24 does hit.
What damage die do I roll?
Can you roll a d12 plus a d6?
19 points of damage.
You do 19 points of damage. The whole thing kind of crumples in on itself. It is still alive, but severely damaged. You regain 9 hit points.
Oh no.
Hand me that
bad
sword real
sword.
quick. I need some hit points.
Clarabelle, do you know your alignment?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm chaotic good.
Okay, thank you.
Am I still
Are
chaotic
you?
The creature is going to turn to you
Yep, fair.
and try another slam attack.
This is all warranted.
And it's going to crit.
Okay, come at me.
Good dice.
So you take 12 points
Okay.
of bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
And you are pushed back 5 feet. And it is going to step forwards
Yep.
and put up its shields, attempting to block your exit.
Okay.
Flick.
All right.
Clarabelle, are you okay?
Honestly, yeah. Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm just gonna 5 foot step forward and try to jab in one of the arcane sigils to try to crack it.
Well,
It's a 9.
No effect. Clarabelle.
All right, again with a sword.
Oh my god.
16. Probably won't do it.
16 misses, unfortunately.
Well, fortunately.
The Guardian is going to open up its shields, bring them right out around you, and it's going to like cymbal smash in front of you. 24 to hit you.
Obviously hits.
You take 10 points of bludgeoning damage. Can you make a strength saving throw?
23.
It does hit you, but you manage to hold yourself strong
Yep.
and stay upright. Flick.
Still doing okay.
Little bit sore now.
All right.
The creature also looks bloodied.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna just try to hit it again because I don't think I'm gonna be able to get to Claribel without being knocked unconscious myself.
Roll to hit.
Small dice. Bad dice. Same roll.
Oh,
That
no.
does miss.
Wow.
Claribel, it's up to you.
All right. 17.
17 is the AC.
Yes!
14 points
Okay.
of damage.
It is revealed in front of you with its shields next to you. It is quite weakened. Sking! The head flies off and lands. And it falls to the ground. Can you make a constitution saving throw for me, Claribel?
Oh, no. I mean, theoretically, I can.
Mm-hmm.
12.
You feel really sick. Like really,
Yeah.
really sick. And you feel like you're about to vomit, but you're okay. You do not vomit at this time.
Whoa, are you okay?
Yeah, I just got a little bit of an upset tummy. I'm not really sure.
It's okay. Come
I mean,
here.
it's been a long day.
Yeah, and I put my hand on her shoulder and heal her.
I mean, heal yourself, my dear.
Then puts a healing.
Thank you. I don't know what's in this sword, but I feel like sad, but also it like healed me as well. It's very strange.
Huh. Maybe we should like not hold on to it.
I mean, I'll just carry it on my back
Yeah, that's fine.
and I'll strap it where I would normally strap my mole.
Where would you like to go now?
I guess we'll check in with Icky and show them that we have the sword and that we're ready to strike the deal.
Yep.
Iggy is thrilled. Fabulous! Bear arms! And they'll rise above with their weapons.
I still don't see any bear arms.
I'm sure they're going to come out later, like at a really critical moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They begin to walk down with all of their things. And you head down and you meet with Hamoon on one end and the goblins on the other.
As we meet, so Eileen, Christine, Maxine,
Eugene, Colleen, Nadine, Francine, Janine, Charlene, Dean.
it's nice to see all of you.
Hello!
Hi.
So you have brought them to my home, hey? I don't believe that was the arrangement.
The arrangement was if we got you the sword, they could use the well, and we got you the sword. And I pull it off my back.
His eyes grow in size.
And
His
I gotta
mouth
tell you,
drops.
it's a mighty fine sword. I used it to kill some sort of weird stone golem, and it worked wonders.
You wielded the sword.
Yeah, it's got really good weight to it, good swing. It does make you feel sad though. But that I also had a really long day. That could have just been me.
Elsie, it was probably just you. And he snatches the sword from you. He kind of just he walks away and starts to head back towards the tower with the sword.
Okay.
All
I
right.
turn to the goblins. Well, the water's yours. And I open my arms.
And they all begin to run and kind of just like smash themselves at the well.
They don't know how to use the well.
They have no concept
Okay,
of how a well.
excellent. Yeah. Cool. Is Icky there?
Icky is there.
I feel a strong sense of intelligence coming from Icky.
Mm-hmm.
Strong sense of kinship.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I attempt to show Icky how to use the well.
Okay. You show Icky how to use the well.
Yeah.
As the water comes up. Wow! Lots of celebration. And the first drink goes to my companion, Sticky. And Sticky comes out of the crowd and drinks from the bucket.
I embrace Sticky.
I miss you so much.
Me too.
I think as all the goblins are celebrating, I'll go and find Tharden and let him know that the raids have stopped.
Thank you. I've collected enough information here in these past 24 hours. Seems I only needed a small amount more before I cracked the code.
Well, I'm glad that you've managed to get what you needed to.
And I believe we are now headed back together.
Mm-hmm. We are, yeah.
Well, if you're okay, I'm happy to leave now. Either
Absolutely.
way.
I think I need to say my goodbyes. And I head back to the goblins.
She's going through a thing.
And Clarabelle wants to individually, one by one, say goodbye to every single goblin that's there.
How long does each goodbye take? Is it like a goodbye, or is it like, oh my, even though you don't know their names?
Oh, it's emotional. There's like just grasping of the shoulders.
You need to take what's yours. You need to understand that you have agency, that you are an individual that can do whatever you want to do with your life. And I believe that whatever you choose will be beautiful.
For every single one.
Thardan looks at you, Flick.
I think this is probably about after 15 minutes of the most awkward small talk that's ever occurred.
Yeah. Do you know the way? Perhaps we should head back and Clarabelle can meet us there.
I mean, yes, but also I'm worried that without us, she will die.
You have some kind of strange thing going on, don't you?
What? Friendship? Yeah.
He's going to sit down with his book of notes that he's got here and just start to flick through over the next 2 hours as Clarabelle individually says goodbye to as many of the goblins as possible. After a while, they don't want to hang around this long, so they start like saying goodbye. Like they're happy to wait, but like wow, it's like, you know what, we'll do 2. It's okay. I'll go with my friend, and you say goodbye to all the goblins, and then you head off and return to Fandalen.
We've got Thardan.
Thardan, it is wonderful to see you. As Silda steps forward and embraces Thardan. It is such bad news to hear about your brother. I'm sure he will return with us soon. And Nandro is kind of busy looking over some papers.
Well, we'll let you guys catch up for a bit and let us know what we can do next.
Before you go, I would like to thank you for bringing the Rockseeker brothers together. We will need your assistance in the future. For the moment, I believe that Thardan has collected some knowledge from the tower, and Nandro is currently working through some translation. Nandro believes that he will be completed in about 5 days or so. Stay in Fandalen. I will be in touch.
Okay.
Of course, you may continue to stay here.
I mean, yeah, we're still going to be living in the same place. I imagine we'll see you.
Please do not disturb us. We have work to do.
Okay.
Of course.
Yep.
And she closes the door as you kind of like very politely removed.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I just love her so much.
The way that she just gets down and focuses and does what she needs to do.
The energy she brings to a room can just make anything happen.
She certainly has an aura, doesn't she? As Tony is standing right next to you, also having a room from
Did
the
you
room.
phase through the wall?
How do you do it?
I just, how can you? I also exited with you.
I think Clarabelle turns to Toby.
I mean, we're here for a few days. If you've got some time, I'd love to learn your secrets of moving around quietly.
I'm just walking. And he moves away.
I'm like avidly studying his steps
Quite.
and being like,
Okay, heel toe.
He's quite insulted. And that's where we're going to leave the session.
incredible.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Best Left Forgotten. You can find us and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Best Left Podcast and on our Best Left Forgotten Facebook page where we post updates, info, and additional content. Music by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0. Song list can be found in the episode description. Cover art by Caddy Wumpus, who can be found on Fiverr. Thanks to Jess Wolfendale, our editor, Miriam Feats, our social media manager, and Nathan Quadro, our GM and producer. If you enjoyed our podcast today, please leave a review and tell your friends.